It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skill by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Ighalo running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Amokachi, Adepoju, no, they have disagreed over the return of Odion Ighalo to the national team. And one man is saying they will host the best sports national festival right there in Delta State. Also, at this point in time, the coach of Tottenham are talking about a new Espirito has been sacked by the management of the club. This is how we actually welcome you to yet another edition of Sport Orbit right here on the Leadership of Podcast Studio. My name is Olawale Ayeni and I'll be your host for today. As you can see, Salifo Usman, he's here with us. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. Good afternoon, and listener. Good afternoon there. And the sporting world is getting thirsty.
Of course, sir.
While we're expecting Ole to go, Tottenham took the first shot.
Of course, sir. Alpha, Hacho also returned to the show today. How are you doing?
Pleasure to be here. I noticed both of you are wearing brown. Is it to celebrate the newfound form of Arsenal fans? I know both of you support the same club. Are you in solidarity, hearing and co on a Monday morning?
Of course, maybe we got to talk about it much later. But at this point in time, the fans are happy. The fans right there at the Old Trafford, they're happy. They're singing. Only going to social. It seems you have to stay put at the club at this point in time. I don't know if Alpha has any other opinion about it at this point.
Not which of the fans are singing, asking me to stay.
Of course, we're going to have a story which is actually talking about Amokachi Adepoju, former Super Eagles player, actually saying no to the return of Odion Ighalo at this point in time, because even the president of Nigerian Football Federation talking about Amaju Pinnick and also coach talking about Draw are actually looking forward to bring back Ighalo to the Super Eagles at this point ahead of the water qualifiers against Liberia and also Cape Verde here in Nigeria. Former international coming out to say no, do not bring in disagree over.
Amokachi is not against his coming. Amokachi actually say that
Amokachi is in support.
He's in support of his coming.
Adepoju is against it.
Both bosses is against it. He say that it's a waste of time.
So at this point,
well, just like Adepoju says to me, and just like we discuss it, there's no basis, there's no need for Ighalo still coming, but we're not missing Ighalo at the national team. We have good strikers in the national team. Presently, at the moment, we can count almost 5 solid strikers up front there that can do what Ighalo needs to do in the Super Eagles. We have at the moment you can't compare Ighalo from to a bit of Seme. At the moment you can't confirm Ighalo, whatever is playing from to Ekele Shehe. Then even Awoni. Awoni is also doing. We also have Football National. Also this guy from the French league. How do they call this guy from French league? Murphy.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are full vibe strikers. So what is the base bringing Ighalo to the national team? Amokachi that is saying that he's coming, what distracting the young player. I don't know what he's trying to say.
Maybe actually not coming from the angle of the government. He's the SC on support to the president. So maybe they're actually getting to support the move by the present NFF president talking about.
I don't think if let's even let's have even if Sport Minister Fish Shadow or Sporting this country will not say that no, he can't need to come back to national because I don't think there's a need for him. If there's a need for him, then even the fans will call him, they will need him back. But not at the moment. There's no need for Ighalo coming back to the national team. No, again, he's a decent player. He has played his due, and he retired 2 years ago. After he retired 2 years ago, what are we working him good? Even at the league he's playing in the Saudi Arabia league. You compare Saudi Arabia league to England to England. You compare Saudi Arabia to the Premier League that you compare the Russian league to Syria A where Vito is playing, or do you compare
the French league
to
Belgian league?
The legal league where Awoni is playing, or the Belgian league where they play. So I think no, there's no base for Ighalo for now. Don't need him. He has a time. He has played it.
Quickly, let's get a reaction on this story.
Absolutely, just like Adepoju really said, I really don't see any basis for Ighalo's return. I don't know why Amokachi is, among the vanguard of people who are pushing for his return, while Adepoju, on the other hand, is saying no. Like we said the other day, sometimes there's more to it than meets the eyes. Sometimes some underhand dealing goes by. You might not even know. Maybe Ighalo is even the one who is even pushing, because
of course,
I don't understand the reason for all of a sudden, the clamor for his return.
At least to relaunch his career. Maybe
exactly, even with the cries from the different section of fans, and Abro has stubbornly still gone ahead to include him in the professional list.
Yes.
So that goes to show that there is something brewing on that we might not be aware of. Because I really don't see this man finished the Nations Cup the last time around and said, I'm done with international football. Let me come.
At the time that Nigeria still even want him.
Exactly. Let me concentrate on my club career. And after some years now, everybody's now they are not clamoring for his return. But he on his own has not come out really to say, yes, I want to return. So that goes to show that there is something going on somewhere.
I'm not cutting. Sorry, the way he has not said no or yes. And just like say there's
something.
Suspect someone.
Exactly.
Maybe he's the one just to launch it. Maybe he wants to come back.
Absolutely.
Let me quickly read what Amokachi said about Ighalo's return. He said, if I admire someone from far and I see what I can play with such a person to be part of the team, Raw has said he needs Ighalo's experience and believe that what the young players need. Talking about the experience. So for me, Ighalo return should not be a distraction to the young players. But meanwhile, Adepoju is saying, I like Ighalo as a player. He's a good striker. He retired from the Super Eagles 2 years ago. If he is a recall to do the strikers in the team are doing well, I do not know the reason for you, calling Ighalo back to the national team. That is actually coming.
And exactly.
Exactly.
That's what the strikers in the team are doing what we are calling Ighalo to doing.
In fact, General should be even spoiled for choice right now, because we have, if it comes to up front in Africa right now, I don't see any country that has the kind of firepower we have up front. So what do we need Ighalo for? Really, I really don't think we need him.
Of course,
we have players who are experienced enough in that team.
Some people say during the last AFCON, he was the best. He was the highest goal scorer.
Yes, he was privileged. He was opportune to be the AFCON at the Russia 2022. We forget how many clear chances did Ighalo miss
against Argentina. So sad at this point in time. Let's just see how he pans out. The Super Eagles of Nigeria were playing for the World Cup qualifiers next week when the international break will come up, and expected to play, Liberia and also Cape Verde here in Nigeria. Away from that, still talking about a player from the national team, which is talking about Victor Osimhen, is expected to undergo a scan after an injury blow that he actually sustained during the weekend game in the Syria in that particular one. The Napoli officials are saying he's set to undergo a scan today, and that will actually happen, and eventually we'll get to know if he will be available for their next game before the international break. But looking at the two-legged game we have with Liberia and Cape Verde, World Cup qualifier, Osimhen's services will actually be needed. If he's not going to play that match, are we going to miss him?
Yeah, of course we're going to miss him, considering the form he was before this injury. And it's very sad that he got this injury at the time when, the way he his form has been, and we're all hoping that okay, with the remaining qualifying matches we have, he's going to come around and show. But unfortunately, he'll be out of this one. And we're going to miss him, even though we still have some players up front who can get the job done. But you cannot still underestimate Osimhen as long as he's fit. As long as he's fit, you know that off the top of even my head, I know that he'll be first choice pick when it comes to the striking position. So he'll be greatly missed, and I only wish him a speedy recovery.
It's going to be selection headache if Osimhen will not actually make it for a particular two.
But the good news is that I don't think we are going to miss him for this match yet. Because depending on what they stand to do, according to the Napoli's official, that initially they thought that the injury was going to be a bad injury, but it's not a bad one. It's not too bad. He just have a hamstring injury, and definitely they rested him for their game. They rested him for their game yesterday, which they won. So they are expecting him to come back again their next match this weekend. And by the time he play this weekend against them, definitely will be available to come and play for Super Eagles. So we are still hoping and still praying that yes, this injury will not keep him on the sideline for a long time. Strongly, I still hope that we are going to have it for the next two matches.
Of course, no doubt about it. Victor Osimhen has been in fire actually for both the country and both Napoli. He has been the one banging in goals for Napoli, and also he scored in the last game within the Central African Republic. So hopefully we should actually see him back for the national team during the World Cup qualifier later this month. Away from that, still talking about Super Eagles star at this point in time, Chidera Ejike has been rated third best dribbler in the world at this point in time. This was according to the CIES Football Observation latest ranking. He was actually ranked in third place behind Adepoju and Nuhal Lujan. In that particular one, players from 33 league worldwide were ranked, and only the ones that have completed 40 triples in the 2021 to 2022 season were considered in that particular one. The AGK has over 9.3 behind Luja with 9.7 and Adam Traore with 11.2. I saw him, playing for the Super Eagles in the last game against the Central African Republic. He was actually good with the ball, but his final pass, his final shot is the one actually very, very poor, lacking in that particular ball quickly. Let's get a reaction on this.
Like we spoke last week when there was this report that Rangers, Balogun of Rangers, has made. So I said, look, these days football is filled with so much of statistics and all of that. Best dribbler, what's best dribbler? Is that an achievement? Why is he not on the list for highest goal scorers? Or in fact, when you even see the names of people who are best dribblers, Adama Traore and some guy that I don't even know. So that's to tell you that these things don't really matter in football. If you're the best dribbler, what you're finishing like is a criteria for you getting into a big club or for you getting picked. So, like I say all the time, football these days is filled with too many of, I think, unnecessary statistics, in my opinion. Yes, best dribbler, fine. I think he should have been rated maybe a third best player also in the world. That would have been more satisfactory.
Of course, just is coming up. He plays in the Russian league. We know how the Russian league is like. It's not
come on, best dribbler. It's more like you could also take up ball juggling as a career. So, in another way to look at it, because for me, this is just a stat that really does not, really account for me.
Charlie, what's your opinion about him? Chidera, he's one of the young stars. Having been invited in the last 3 for World Cup qualifiers.
Well, in a midfield position as a midfielder, sometimes you don't roll away the dribbling.
From the left wing,
the dribbling skill is also your advantage. But I'll be more satisfied than still rated as one of the best attacking midfielder of all person. So not those are
but between him and Samuel Chukwueze, who will you pick as this?
Chukwueze's game is more direct.
Chukwueze is more ahead of
more direct.
So I can't compare him. But if I'm a coach, if I'm to select between them, I'm not consider him.
Exactly, he's more of a showman to me.
Chukwueze is more ahead of him.
Exactly.
So just like I was saying, what matter in your football is your finishing and your ball rate, your pass, your position. How do you be able to complete that, to connect your teammates? Not just carry. You are not the ball juggler coming to the football around. So I think that's an achievement.
I've gotten to the halfway to the show at this point in time. We need to go for a short break. When we come back, one man is saying we will host the best ever a national sports festival come 2020, and also we're at PSG. They are set, to terminate the contract of Sergio Ramos, a player who has not even played for the team yet, and also Tottenham getting to sack their coach and a coach talking about Antonio Conte is set to actually replace new at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. These are many more will come after the short break. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Welcome from that short break. We're still sport of it right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. We go straight to our next one where we will host the best national sport festival. This is actually coming from Tunubok Okowa, who is the chairman Sport Commission of Delta State at this point, and he's saying that the state is ready to host the best ever national sport festival coming up in 2022 in a yet to be decided date by the federal government of Nigeria. But looking at the level of sport facilities in Delta State, Salifu, do you think we are set on what Tunubok is saying at this point in time that Delta will host the best ever national sports festival, looking from what we actually saw from Edo State earlier this year?
Yeah, I hope, yes. I don't have many doubts in the ability of the Delta State to use the best sport by Nigeria standard. And you are talking about Nigeria standard. I don't have any doubts in the ability. In terms of sports facilities, they're one of the best. They're one of the states that have the best sport facility in this country. So they realize I have a confidence in the Delta State that they will deliver, and at the same time, they have everything. They have everything waiting for them. That the one that they think that the state governor, in person of Ifeanyi Okowa, since he came on board for almost 6 years now, he has been consistently so interested in sport development, which he has over the years, and I believe that Delta State will definitely give us a show compared to what we have witnessed. I believe that they can beat the record of those teams. Because they already have this facility. They don't have any more to go and say we are going to spend any more on the facilities.
Of course, Alpha, looking at Asaba actually hosted the African Athletics in 20 championship in 2018, and we saw that there were a few itches like right, left, and center. Can we say that at this point that they have learned their lessons?
Absolutely, I believe. 2018, that's like how many years ago now? Like 2022, almost like
4 years.
like 3-4 years. So I believe they might have upgraded some of their facilities, learned some mistakes from the hosting environment. Like Salifu said rightly, when it comes to sporting facilities, Delta State have some of the best facilities, and the commitment of even the state government when it comes to sports. Kind of investment they even make in their sporting talents and facilities. So I believe that they are going to put up a show for sportsmen and women out there. So I expect nothing but, and a sporting event to remember that the Delta State will be hosting come next year.
Of course, Delta State will host the 2022 to National Sports Festival, and they'll be looking forward to host and win that particular tournament, because we know that when it comes to sport in Nigeria, Delta is the home for sport. But let's just see how it pans out. It's expected, to sign a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Youth and Sport ahead of the National Sports Festival next year. So any moment from now, the Delta State will be signing an MOU with the federal government. Away from that, we head straight to foreign point in time where PSG they are set to terminate Ramos' contract after he has not been able, to future for the club ever since his last appearance for Real Madrid, right, late year. I was talking about late May last year. And at this point, he has been 35 years old, but he has been struggling with fitness due to the injury at this point. But we know that the deal is a very lucrative one, signing football. Yet he's not. He has not actually had any playing time with PSG. Is it best for PSG to let him go, or they should give him more time? We know that Ramos is a star player.
Yeah, he's one of the best defenders in the round letter game. And at the same time, what I'm totally surprised that he will not be able to. We now see the reason why Real Madrid were reluctant in giving him
a 2-year contract.
2 years contract. But for him not to have played since he joined Real Madrid, PSV shows that age is certainly setting in for him not to recover from injury. And at the same time, but I feel so bad for him. Being as a star player, that I always admire him a lot because of his fighting skill when he's on the pitch. So for him not to have played places again to Real Madrid, PSV, it's really sad. But one thing I wanted to say that, but terminating his contract at the time when he's injured, I don't think the PSG will be fair to him to do that. Because by the time if you terminate his contract, who is going to sign him? Because
so many clubs will actually sign Ramos at this point in time. Even the sale of his jersey will actually cover up for the amount.
You are talking about the sale of his jersey. Ramos then, but not Ramos now.
Of course, he says
He has
won virtually all the trophy in one.
He has won everything that he won.
So that experience is there.
Anything.
So that experience.
But wait, you can't. It's not the Ramos of yesterday. Because if you are talking about where he was not playing for almost how many months?
Of course, it's not the Messi of yesterday that we used to know. It's not the same Messi of. It's not the same Ronaldo of yesterday that we used to know. But as yet, they are still actually giving up a good performance.
The problem with Ramos is PSG are refusing to exercise more patience. Even if they terminate his contract, I believe
they'll pay.
Of course, he'll definitely recover from the injury. A club will definitely sign him.
And his contract expired 2023.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the problem is
2 more years
PSG can't exercise any more patience because they feel, okay, this contract is lucrative. You're not even playing. Because, of course, how it works in football, some people practically come to the stadium to see some certain players. So for the fact that he's not even playing, some revenue that would have been generated from him playing, and you know how these deals work, maybe as a result of sponsors, if you play, some of money supposed to, so they are losing out on all those kind of things.
But
so
actually, saw some clips of him, getting returning back to trading and
no, definitely you can train, but it's a match fit. So, but I think PSG really need to exercise because first of all, before they bought him, he wasn't fit. They knew he had injury problems. Exactly. So you bought him injured, and now he hasn't recovered, and you want to terminate his contract. You knew what you were going out for, and you got him in spite of the injury. So just exercise some patience. Let him be. I mean, the season hasn't even gone up to halfway. So let it go up to halfway. If nothing happens, then you can say, okay, maybe you terminate his contract or give him some certain kind of maybe minimal role, maybe in the bench or maybe a coach player kind of thing. Just treat him with some respect or some kind, but not just to terminate his contract like that over an injury.
Let's say it pans out. Hopefully, he should actually get to play for PSG, before December. Let's see how it goes because at this point in time, after spending a whole lot of money, bringing him from the Bernabeu Stadium, so he will actually. I'll be looking forward to play alongside, Messi that he has been opposite side for so many years at this point. But away from PSG, we head straight to the news coming from Tottenham Stadium at this point in time, where they have sacked and their manager talking about new Espirito Santos. They are just actually coach for just good 10 matches. That is talking about the league matches, 10 matches, and at this point, have called it quit with him. So sad.
I mean, first of all, even his appointment in the first place raised a lot of eyebrows. A lot of people didn't even understand how he was even shifted. Because after
but he was doing
no, that's Wolves. No, some like no, in football, some certain coaches do well
just for
with
the
certain
middle club.
Exactly. He was doing well with Wolves. So when the short list of coaches came, you know, and his name was there, and he was leading the race, a lot of people were shocked at how come Espirito Santos, his kind of football does not even fit the kind of football that Tottenham plays. You know, so he came in after 10 games, and we even remember how he started the league. First 3 games,
of course,
he was called 9 points. So
he defeated Manchester City in that first game. So
first 3 games, they had maximum 9 points. So it was like, okay, looks like Tottenham are going to do something this season.
Did anything happen in the dressing room?
No, but you see, but this is how football is like that. Sometimes you start like a house on fire, you're doing well, all of a sudden, nothing is working. Sometimes you don't start well, along the way, you pick up. So it's like that. So football is like that, but it takes a club who has patience to still stand by you, even in your dark days. But I mean, Tottenham were
he's a Portuguese. He's a Portuguese. Could that be one of the factors, getting to just let us?
No, I wouldn't want to say that. I mean, even Pochettino, when he came to Tottenham, he didn't hit the ground running. It took him for a while. But I just think maybe the club owners just don't want to have any patience. I mean, just 10 games into the season, and maybe the way they are looking at it, like if we don't do something now, this guy might end up in a very terrible situation.
Looking at Tottenham at this point in time, news coming in from the London Stadium is saying that it's starting to Conte to replace the sack expert at this point in time. Do you think is the best move for Tottenham? And considering the caliber of Antonio Conte, do you think the club of Tottenham actually is the best for him at this point?
Well, I'm not surprised that the Conte name has been mentioned against the Tottenham. You know, when you are jobless, any available job, people name will be the one to be looking into.
Exactly.
So actually linked with Newcastle job also.
So of course, Conte has been looking for several jobs, looking to Arsenal, looking to a week ago. They say is the most favorite for the Man U job. He was praying fervently, and his fans were praying fervently to get to the sack. Unfortunately, only
has even started English class at this.
So before the sack, only ensure that the sack
just to keep his job.
His own job. So let's see. No doubt about the capability of Conte. He's a good coach. He has been there in the Premier League. I know what he can do. So let's hope if the Tottenham, the hierarchy at the Tottenham be able to get him, I think definitely it will not be like the young man, the old man, no Santo. They call him.
Okay.
So let's
but let me just quickly continue. Looking at the league, the match result, over the weekend, we saw Chelsea, extending another Premiership lead ahead of Liverpool, while we actually saw Man City getting to Stamford home to Crystal Palace. But quickly, it actually started at the King Power Stadium, where Leicester actually lost to Arsenal 2-0. Burnley defeated Brentford 3-1. Liverpool they actually they drew at home to Brighton 2-2. Manchester City actually lost at home. For me, I would say Scandal lost to a certain Patrick Vieira side in Crystal Palace 2-0. And Newcastle also lost to Chelsea at home 3-0 after taken over by the Saudi Arabian team. Watford also lost to Southampton 1-0. Tottenham actually received another bashing from Manchester United 0-3 in that particular one. And on Sunday we saw Norwich City, we saw Aston Villa, getting to lose at home 4-1 to West Ham. Quickly, guys, let's quickly get a reaction to this match result. Which match was most surprising to you, Alpha?
I won't say most surprising, but I think the match I was impressed most with, funny enough, is Chelsea. Hate them or love them, they're actually looking like genuine title contenders. Notwithstanding that, I watched that game and I noticed that they didn't even play with a striker.
Of course.
And they finished that game 3-0. I mean, what else can you say about such a team who even playing without a striker but is still banging goals? So,
of course, looking at the league table, Chelsea are still number one with 25 points from 10 games. Liverpool in second position, 22 points, just 3 points separating the both sides. Man City in third with 20 points. West Ham also. David Moyes, something is actually working for him at this point in time with 20 points from 10 games. Impressive record. Manchester United are tied on the same point with Arsenal at this point in time, 17-17, but they have more goals, are better than Arsenal. Salifu, looking at Arsenal were rated 15 at some point in the league table, but now they are in as the 6th position. Are you seeing them finishing among the best 4 teams this season?
Well, let me just say that sometimes, let's see, I need to do, even though it may come to hot note, I'm going to say now. I think that let me say, well, for a few matches I just tried. Initially, I was against him all one that he is not mature enough for that job. It's like as if he's beginning to learn something and turn things around at the Emirates Stadium. We hope that he'll be able to sustain this. Pray that he's used to sustain this. And at the same time, when Arsenal got after the first 3 matches, Arsenal was even at the last bottom of the table. And for them to quickly within 7 matches after and then now being in the 6th position, at least I commend them. They have tried a lot, and if you look at it, the gap between them and even the leader, the leader of the table is just 8 points. 8
points. So anything can happen.
Anything can happen. This 8 points is just a too much. It's too much different. Like can cancel it. The what it means, and if Arsenal maintain their consistency and maintain this level, they still can also be. They can also still challenge for a title.
Top 4 finish Arsenal. Possible or not?
Yeah, possible. I mean, anything is possible.
Of course, anything is possible. This is where we are at the break on the show today. It was nice, talking sports with Salif Usman and Alpha. Of course, our viewers will make a return bigger and better tomorrow with another fresh edition of Sports Orbit. But my name for now is Olawale, and I'm saying bye-bye for now. Do enjoy the rest of the day. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.